Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So yesterday I went on a bit of a rant with the AI teammates and the disappointment I felt when playing them for the first time in Recon Breakpoint, recognizing that the programmers basically spent the past year just implementing the same code from Wildlands into Breakpoint, making sure that they worked with these models and this terrain, etc., etc. The commands, the command wheel, nothing has changed. It's all the same. This time around, they put cleared hot. So I thought maybe that was to signal that there was something different as far as open fire, hold fire, and it wasn't. It's the same command. So after ranting, a lot of you, the majority of you who have been here with me since day one and even have been playing Wildlands all these years and was complaining back then, you understand what's going on with this game and what we want from the Ghost Recon title, the Ghost Recon franchise, and tactical shooters in general. It's not good enough that the teammates can just follow you. You could use sync shot whenever you want, and then when you get seen and you need help, you could say cleared hot, and you just sit there and let them run around and kill everything. And if they happen to fall down, then you go res them or whatnot. No, because some people in the comment section was telling me, oh, it works fine. And I had to really explain to them, no, it works fine for you because all you're doing is letting them follow you, sync shotting as much as you can, and if you need a oh shit button, you say cleared hot. This is not the type of command system we want in Ghost Recon. The player base is used to this being a fully fledged tactical shooter, squad-based tactical shooter. And the problem while playing this game, which is even worse than Wildlands now in my opinion, is that in Wildlands, the majority of the time you spent outside in the jungle and inside these broken down cities or camps and compounds, it didn't have all of this urban feel to it. A lot of corners, a lot of squares everywhere. And I have a feeling that this seems so much worse because the code, the programming for these characters, they don't know how to navigate these specific areas, especially alleyways or corridors with a wall that separates two sides. So I really want to show you guys and showcase what I mean by this being just terrible AI and not having the opportunity to do what we need to do to order our teammates to be efficient soldiers and efficient killers and give orders that work. So I'm going to start here with this little offshore compound on the water. And the first thing I do is when approaching this camp is obviously I can sync shot here, but that's not the purpose of these tests. The purpose is to truly see how these three AI characters are programmed. So I set them to this location and I tell them to move to. When all three of them get here, what I'm going to do is clear them hot so they kill these two guys. They do a pretty efficient job at doing that. And then right away, I tell them to just move to this position. I don't want them to run around and kill everybody. Now, here is my first problem with the AI. When I tell them to move into this location, and I want them to move to this location, watch what they do once they reach the location. Fury leaves, Vasily leaves, Fixit leaves, and look what they go and do. The three of them moving to that corner are now moving on their own. They are absolutely doing whatever they want to do now. What do they want to do? Apparently, they're attracted to, not these two patrols, they're attracted to this turret for some reason. Now, Fury and Fixit are literally flanking the entire compound, going around to the front, and Vasily is just walking around randomly. This is after I told them to move to a little corner in an alley to stay there. So after I realized, okay, I lost this battle, and mind you, these are examples. This happens over and over and over again. So after I lost that battle, I said, okay, these guys are patrolling. Move to this area. Let me see if there's anyone around. Let's see what will happen if I tell them to move behind this wall and clear them hot when these two guys patrol around. So right away, Fix-It has already hopped the wall, and they're aiming now. They're not even aiming at these two guys. You want to know what happens when I tell them to clear hot? They shoot at the drone. Okay, that could be a commander issue. You have to know now that they were attracted to the drone. That's what they wanted to shoot at. They wanted to shoot at the drone. Okay, I lost that fight between telling them to move to the alley and then clearing them hot near a drone when that's what they were aiming at and that's what they wanted to apparently shoot at. That battle's lost. So let's say I wanted to move through this compound, and I wanted to specifically have them wait in an area that has two sides of it that they can apparently the programming can get confused with, because when I tell them to go here, right, they know right off the bat where to go, right? The code sends them to that spot exactly. Boom. Now all they need to do is hold this position. So I tell them to hold, and they are holding. So now what do? There's a bad guy there, and now there's a bad guy to our 12 o'clock right here. Boom, there's a bad guy there. Look what Fix-It, look what all three of them are doing. They're literally moving towards the enemy away from this drone as if the drone is telling them that they're in a bad location. So there's definitely code going on here that is funky and that is overriding what you, the player, want your teammates to do. They have programmed these guys to move around so much that your move to orders and hold position orders will not have them stay where you move them to and where you tell them to hold, which is absolutely ridiculous. You cannot command your team to go through a tight-knit compound, which every compound in this game is a tight-knit compound with corridors and alleyways, and look at all these different types of ways where you can maneuver your men through. These three guys can't do it. It almost would have been better to just give us one AI teammate at this point and just let them go to where they need to go to. It's almost as if the three of them have to spread out because of each other. I'm not even sure how it works. So I clear them hot here so they can kill this enemy. Then I tell them to hold, and I got them to hold quick enough. And this is another issue I have, which I think I explained yesterday, that I can't keybind this for quick action movements. So that's something I have a problem with. So now I'm going to test, hey, I want to have them go through here, because sometimes there are bad guys in this little building. So they stand here, I don't clear them hot, I tell them to go inside, right? So go inside, and bam, look, there's a bad guy right there. Vasily is inside, and I clear him hot. But you want to know what the other two have done when I told them to go inside? They're not even inside. Look at them. They cleared hot, and they're outside. They're outside shooting. So this is the difficulty you're having as a player, where you have no ability and no true control. You have no ability to tell them, to pinpoint them what to do, and no true control over their exact movements. And I don't know how Ubisoft Paris programmers, which I've been very easy on because I understand this game was rushed, but I don't understand how the programmers launched this and thought that this was good. When you tell your teammates to hold a position, there should not be code having them figure out where to go to, because it doesn't work. When you tell them to move to somewhere, another script shouldn't run. The code that's having them move around should not be running. That needs to completely be rebuilt or taken out, because I don't even remember in Wildlands that them doing this. When I would have to go back to Wildlands and see, because when I told them to hold or I told them move to, they went there and they stood there. But it seems like these three in Breakpoint truly have a hard time grasping the concept of holding a position. So now, here's another example. I started again. Every time it would mess up, I'd restart and I'd keep practicing. So I'd send them to this position again, and right off the bat, I clear them hot, and the element of surprise, and they actually kill the guys relatively quickly, which I like, and I think should be programmed in the game. If you have the element of surprise, you shouldn't need a sync shot for a clear hot, but it's almost as if that's not what this command wheel is really supposed to do when you clear hot. It's almost as if they don't want it to work that way. So after the clear hot, as you can see here, I tell them to go to this position. I want them here, up against the wall, up against the building, because this patrol comes around, this patrol comes down this corridor, and it would be a perfect shot for them to turn and get hit. And what do they do after I tell them to go to that position? They do what they do best. They figure out what they want to do around this building. And this is the problem I have, or the problem they're having with buildings and all these tight-knit areas. It seems as if they're programmed to rotate around and cover corners. But now look at Fix-It, right? So I told them to hold all the way over here. Okay? So they slowly wander forward. Fix-It moves forward, right? Who follows in Fix-It's footsteps? Fury does. So now they're lined up on a wall where I did not want them. They're out in the open, which now they can be seen, obviously. So now, after this patrol starts coming around, look at what Fix-It is doing. And it's almost not half bad if you think about it in different scenarios. It's almost like the three of them are kind of flanking them. But you have to understand, this is super stupid given the fact that Fix-It is now all, like, if this was out in the woods, you wouldn't really see a problem with it. And I think that's the issue with Wildlands. We didn't see much of an issue with it because we were so out in the open, and even the encampments there wasn't as many buildings and little alleys and corridors like I've said. So now look at Fix-It. After they, remember, I wanted them in this area, right? I wanted them in this little corner right here because I know that they're gonna turn down this alley, and it would be a straight shot. It would be basically them just a cleared hot shot, boom, right down this alley. They would walk right into the gunfire, and it would be a perfect setup. But no, Fix-It is all the way out now in the main road. Fury is only a few meters next to him. I don't even know where Vasily is, or Vasily. I can't even see him right here. And so at this point, I just say cleared hot. Now, Fix-It is out of position because now there are walls here. So he rotated himself all the way out of position on his own, and Fury is somewhat in a position where she could shoot them, but she's got her back now to enemies. Rather than them all being in this one corridor and being able to be a tight-knit crew shooting multiple bullets at the same time, right down the corridor when these two guys turned into that corridor. And so now I tell them to clear hot. Then once I have the thing open because I don't want them to shoot anything else, but my drone goes away, so I can't tell them anything. So at this point, I want to see what they do. I tell them to go back to this spot while they're in a fight. Apparently, who's that? Fury, she wants to fight the drone. She's feeling ballsy. So now this is where they should have been originally. Now I'm going to tell them to come over here. Let me see what you do in this corner, right? The three of you. They find their corner, boom. Hold this position right here. Let's see what they do. Vasily runs. Okay, that's not bad. This would make more sense. You see, Fix-It, he turned that corner and now he's open. If he would have held this corner of the building perfectly parallel to where Fury is, then it would have been, that's reasonable. That makes sense. That's fine. I could accept that. But you literally have them rotating around buildings, going around corners on their own. And in what world is that good programming? In what world is me saying hold here? In what world does it make sense for you to make them go around a corner to the end of the next wall? It's absolutely terrible. So now we have fix it here once again. A lot of the enemies have dead, but the base is on alert. A lot of enemies have been killed, but the base is on alert. Here come more guys. Now you see, now boom, you could see this shotgunner. You see where he came up? He came from the alleyway. Fix it is out in the open, and he shouldn't be there. If he would have been where I told them to hold position, and at least watching this corridor from the corner of this building right here, he'd be in a better position to make this shot if anyone rushed down this area, and that would be perfect. And then I tell them, after I told them to hold to see where they'd end up, I said, you know what, whatever, clear it hot, let's see what they do. Now Fix It wants to run backwards when I tell them clear hot. Do you see how little sense that makes? I tell them hold position, he runs forward into an area. I clear them hot, he literally runs backwards from the firefight. He doesn't even manage to just stay in the position that he was guarding in the first place. It just seems like the code is so jumbled and all over the place. I don't know what script they're running, but it just doesn't make any sense. So I cleared him hot. You want to know why he came all the way over here? Not to fight the guys in front of him. He came all the way over here to shoot a guy down this alleyway. So I'm just having trouble figuring out how the hell, and you know what? It's not like I can do any better. I can't run up in C++ and start coding out these types of things. But I'm not a professional game developer. So when you have an entire community on the forums, in Wildlands, now on Breakpoint, telling you, yo, please, don't let it act like this. Don't let it act like this. And now it acts even worse. We didn't even want Wildlands controls. We didn't want this order wheel. We wanted it improved. We want hold position, open fire, and they hold position and shoot what they see. We want move to position, open fire, and they continue to move to where you told them to move, and they open fire. Okay? And we want the same thing with hold fire. Hold position, hold fire. The open fire, hold fire mechanic, the cleared hot mechanic, it should work in unison with hold position and move to. In unison with it, not separate. It shouldn't override that script, which is what cleared hot does. Cleared, obviously, obviously these different functions that are running, these scripts that are running for the AI, once you put cleared hot, the other two the other two functions, whether one or the other is running, are canceled, and the cleared hot script is now enabled, because you can't tell them to hold position in cleared hot. You can't tell them move to cleared hot, because cleared hot is its own Rambo mode, and they just run around and do whatever the hell they want. And it's not even like they know how to prioritize their targets, which is, it just doesn't make sense. If Fury is right here and there are bad guys right in front of them, and at this point in time, I say cleared hot. You are cleared hot, and he runs backwards to shoot at a guy in an alleyway, that's a problem. I would say that's a problem. That's a huge problem. And it makes absolutely no sense. And so, I don't know. Obviously, the code is just absolutely all over the place. And I really don't know what to say. I'm going to keep going now. So here we go down this little street. And this is another corridor example where I tell them to move to this position. So now after moving to this position, I want you to see what they do. I feel like in Wildlands they would just sit there, and I feel like they tried something with this code, and it just doesn't work. You wasted your time making them run around and trying to find positions, and maybe they're running code over those types of guns they had. And I know everybody asked Everybody asked to have their own, to be able to give them their own guns in Wildlands, and you know what? That was a mistake. It was a mistake in my opinion. People should have been pushing for the ability to have them hold position, move to, and hold fire, open fire, you working in unison with that, because that is way more important than having them have a sniper rifle or an assault rifle. It's truly irrelevant at this point what they have because they're so bad. And you know, it is a problem of the types of gamers we are, or I am, because I'm looking to control these guys. I'm looking to move here and move with them. You know, hold there, move there, open fire, and wanting them to follow these orders. And so I just have to realize that that's not what this is. But I'm still going to discuss and showcase that even without that, this shit's completely broken. Because now, like what I was saying, look at these guys. I told them to move to the end of this to this street, to this corridor, right at the corner. I wanted them right at the corner. She goes across the street. Vasily and Fixit go around the entire thing and sit. Look, they sit on the other side. So like I said, there's a huge issue with giving orders to an area that has two sides that they could sit on. And I showcased it yesterday in my rant video. I told them to go down an alleyway, and Fury just decided to just run inside the building and set up shop inside the building instead of outside on the alleyway where I told them to go. So here I'm messing around more. I'm seeing how they act, what they do, what the enemies do. I come to this point. I come to the point where there's some enemies here that are gonna walk into a line of sight and be in their line of fire. So first, I do have them holding. I do have them. Well, I didn't tell them to hold. I told them to go to this location, right? So you'd expect them to go to this location and sit there. Okay, cool. After this bad guy comes out, I give the order. Cleared hot. Okay, so he's walking out. He doesn't see them. Cleared hot. Pow. They knock him out. Boom. I tell him to hold position. Now, real quick, you could see they're so fast. And this is why it's very important that you need keybinds for these guys. Because they're so fast, you need to have them hold the minute that enemy is dead. Otherwise, they're on to the next enemy in 0.5 seconds. They get the guy in their line of sight and shoot them immediately. So after that kill, you could see right here, I say hold. Look where Fixit is, right? He's already flanking around in an area I don't even catch it at first. So I think he's right there. I'm assuming when I give my next command, they'll come down this little alley. I'm already down, right? Wrong. So here we go. This guy comes into our line of sight. I clear them hot. He gets shot in the face right in front of me. And apparently, this is an issue I also have, because sync shot will kill them, boom. But cleared hot is very risky because you're risking the code running and not having the enemies die quick enough and the enemies getting a shot off. So when you're trying to stealth an entire location, this type of shit happens where you'll see bullets go through their head and they don't die for however the code decides to ring up the hit location or the amount of damage that shot did. I don't know how it works, but this type of stuff will happen. But lucky enough, he puts his gun up, ready to shoot and blow all of our cover, and then he gets killed. Okay, cool, I got lucky. But now what I don't realize, Fury's with me, Fixit is already 20, 30 meters, however many meters that is, maybe, I don't know, ahead of me. He's already 20 meters ahead of me, 30 meters ahead of me, and already has an enemy in the line of sight. And I already told them to hold position. So now, guess what? There's an enemy there. And so he gets seen, enemy shoots. Now, apparently I'm far enough from people to where that didn't draw attention. The base didn't go on alert. So I'm like, all right, I'll keep going. I'll see what's up. But you could see that issue. You could see this cleared hot issue. You're constantly fighting against the command wheel. You're constantly fighting against the AI. You have to move here, cleared hot, regroup, and you constantly have to keep them. You have to keep an eye on them and keep them right near you. Otherwise, if you do something like this, where you cleared hot once and then you tell them to hold, you don't realize that one of them is already 20 feet ahead of you looking at the next AI character that you don't even have in your line of sight. And the problem is when you tell them to hold and not regroup, which I did here, they can be seen. So you have to clear hot, regroup, clear hot, regroup. You can't even tell them to hold position. It always has to be a regroup. So it's almost as if, why would you have commands that are just redundant, irrelevant? Not even redundant. It's irrelevant. Redundant was the wrong word. Why do you even have commands that are irrelevant? Why would you hold position for anyone if you can't hold position in an Overwatch position and tell them to fire? What's actually the point of hold position? Because if you say cleared hot and then hold position, they get seen. So you have to say cleared hot and regroup. It's just, it's just a headache. This entire order wheel, their programming, their AI, the scripts that they run for each one of these commands, everything is just off. It's wrong. I really hope the programmers can nail this for the next game. I don't even care about getting it right for this game. This cannot go on for a third game at this point. You do this shit for a third game and you're literally just destroying the franchise at this point. They need these tactical squad commands to make sense. Again, Ubisoft, programmers, hold here or move to works in unison with open fire, hold fire. Open fire and hold fire doesn't mean program them to run around and kill everything. Never in the history of tactical squad-based tactical shooters should that ever be a something you program to where you're just setting your AI off to do their own thing. No, it should not work like that. You tell them move there, open fire, they move there while opening fire, not move there and they start to move there and then open fire and now all of a sudden they're running around like morons. It's baffling. It's baffling how that could even be programmed at this point in time in 2020 when we've been saying it forever. We were playing this shit 18 years ago with SOCOM. So really, man, you guys got to get this shit together. This is just bad, man. This is all they're there for. Follow me, sync shot. Oh my God, I've seen and I'm about to die. Cleared hot and go kill everybody. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I don't want to keep ranting. I want to keep going. So now watch this. And this is the last thing I'm going to end this video because it's already too long. So now I'm going to have them try to sneak past this area that has a couple guys. So I want them to sneak through and set up shop in this location. Right? This guy's over here. Cool. We're just going to get by. Right? He's looking that way. Look, we're just going to get by. Awesome. 1, 2, 3. Vasily, what are you doing? Why is Vasily programmed to run into the AI? Why is he not running? And you know what? This is something I do know about. I forget what's the name of the algorithm. It's like Dijkstra's algorithm. I forget. It's basically it's a pathfinding algorithm, okay? As a pathfinding algorithm would work, this doesn't make sense. I don't know how he would figure to go around this way when the other two went the right way. Yo, the other two went exactly where they needed to go in a straight line to the location. Vasily literally walks past the AI, alerts him, and then they get seen. So now I'm like, yo, whatever. So now I'm going to clear them hot, right? Now I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me clear them hot and look at them. Let me see what they do. Let me see their actions while we're cleared hot and the base is on alert. Now that Vasily decided to just run past the dude instead of stealthing to a location, which is another thing that SOCOM had. You could tell them to move to a location And you could tell them, yo, stealth to that location, and they would creep to that location. They'd get down and crawl if they had to, if there were enemies nearby. That's the type of software we were dealing with 18 years ago. So an entire generation of programmers came and went. An entire new generation of programmers have come up now, and they can't do the same thing that programmers did 18 years ago, apparently. Okay, so now on the forums, we're all talking about the AI. And AI Blue Fox was a Delta Delta company member. Shout out to AI. He says they know what is wanted and they know how to do it, but they aren't convinced enough of the player base wants it. And then he makes himself clear here, right? So this kid says, are they kidding me? They don't know. Wow, all the suggestions and the feedback, whatever. But then he says, they are fully aware that a section of the community would like a more granular control system, and they know how to do it. What they know and we don't is how big that section of the community is. The feedback is not for nothing. It keeps mounting up. It keeps the pressure on and keeps reminding them that they can add to the control system, but still keep the more autonomous options in place. Now, he says that, and that's crazy in my opinion, that they know, but apparently there's not enough of us, like we're the minority. But this is where I call bullshit on Ubisoft pretending that they know how to do it. Not only with what I showcased in this entire video, which is how broken the shit is when you tell them move to or hold position. They just scatter, run around, and get seen. Tell them hold position on this wall, they run around, go down an alleyway, and hold position on the opposite corner of that building. That's completely bad programming. That's broken. I don't know what that is, but that's not knowing how to do shit, in my opinion. So Ubisoft is really full of it there if they're telling AI that they know how to do it, but they're not sure if enough player base wants it. Yeah, whatever. I call BS on that. Also, look at this when I say cleared hot. This is how I know, yo, they're full of shit. Look at this. Ready? Cleared hot, guys. Go fight. Nah, I'm gonna go swimming. See you later, G. Yo, I'm gonna go swimming too. Ah, nice and cool down here. Yeah. Look at Fury. Yo, what the fuck are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Hello? I'm out here fighting these guys by myself now. What are you doing? Oh, we're fighting people? Okay, we'll come back and help. And so they jump in the water to apparently path towards an AI character that was maybe over there somewhere, then only to come back up. And now they're fighting. They don't even fight good. It's not even like it's like if this program, if they fought where one would go down, another one would go down, and they'd cover each other, and it looked like it made sense, maybe I'd give them props. Like, all right, they're trying to do it, and maybe not a lot of people do want what we're saying. But yo, that's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. People want to be able to control their teammates, and those that don't, they don't have to. You can keep in the oh shit button if you want. Keep it in there for all I care. All I'm saying is you need to be able to tell your team to hold and to move while they open fire or hold fire. And when I tell them to hold position or tell them move to a position, that does not mean you give them the code and the script to figure out if they're to run 50 miles down this way, around the building, down the corridor, through the alley, and hang out right next to a drone. Anyway, yesterday was a rant. Today was a rant with evidence so you guys could understand what we're dealing with this programming. If you actually sat here and watched this, I think now you'd understand, and you would like the AI. Maybe now you understand what's wrong with it. Maybe now you'll go in game and start to play around with it and see how broken it really is and understand that this is not suitable for a AAA title in 2020. This is not suitable for anything. The AI is truly bad. They are there as eye candy almost. And they completely make sync shots irrelevant. At the very least, their sync shot should be on a longer cooldown. Because sync shot is basically OP. The cooldown is so fast. If you move slow through an area, you sync shot the whole base down. Like, it is what it is at this point. And on top of that, they know how to, like what AI Blue Fox said. You know, they're fully aware and they know what to do, but they know what they know, we don't. You know, they're just telling Delta Company a load of bullshit, because as you can see from everything I've showcased here, the AI is a mess. They'll run down this way, shoot that guy when there's a guy in front of them. They're running around walls. You tell them it's a complete mess. It's absolutely a complete mess. And there's no way around not recognizing that it needs to be completely rebuilt, or at the very least, someone needs to come in who's a true genius of whatever they code this in, C++ or whatever. Someone really needs to come in and fix this, because it's just not good. It's not good at all. Without their sync shot, to be honest, which in my opinion, this is what I'm gonna say. Sync shot was the way for them to have messy code for their AI characters. That's what I think. Because without sync shot, you would not be able to use the AI characters. They would be completely useless. It is almost impossible to tell them to clear it hot and hold them in time not to shoot someone randomly 50 or 100 yards away and blowing the entire operation and going out of stealth. It's almost impossible at that point. So you need sync shot, and it's almost like sync shot is this miraculous god button that keeps them somewhat relevant in the game. Because it would be impossible to have them move to, hold position, cleared hot, return to my group up. It'd be impossible. You would get seen eventually because it's so bad. And I just laid out within however long this fucking video is, excuse my language. 40 minutes, man, going over this stuff. There's no way you recoded this shit from Wildlands in an entire year and didn't realize how bad it was. The people who purchase your shit for $200 don't deserve this. Even if you bought the standard edition. Nobody deserves this type of shitty ass programming, man. And like I said, I've taken it easy on the programmers. I've been very, very reluctant to shit on the programming team because I know how hard programming is as a super novice, web developer. When play around with JavaScript and libraries like React and things like that, and I know this shit's tough, man. Diving into CSS, building engines, building AI out, doing all these types of algorithms, pathing algorithms so the AI knows where to. I know this shit is tough, but my point is that if you know it's garbage, you should have the professional integrity to tell your boss, this is garbage. I'm not shipping this shit like this. It's gonna take 18 months for me to do this shit the right way. So either we don't launch it and it goes in the next game, or they wait 18 months, or the CMs need to come out and say, this is what we're working on for once. The programmers know that this is going to get done. The art team knows this. The animators know this, but that's not the case. Everything that's broken right now will get fixed in another month or two in a new title update. Good luck if you can't get online right now. They'll probably end up giving the entire battle rewards for free if you can't get on, because that's what they end up doing. Anyway, now I'm ranting and this video is way too long. I'm signing off, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're playing around with the AI the way I play around with them, I know you've experienced these types of headaches. Let me know your experience down below in the comments. If you disagree with me, prove to me why I'm wrong. Link me a video that showcases these AI. It's just my AI on my computer. I must have a funky copy of Ghost Recon Breakpoint, because you can't. And if you disagree with me and you're perfectly fine with them just following you sync shotting and using cleared hot as a oh shit Rambo button, that's fine. I understand that, and I'm completely with you. If that's what you want the AI for, to have them look pretty, dress them up, all camo, you all look cool, you're operators, and you just, you sync shot people, and then if you get into shit, you say cleared hot, that's fine. But even then, at that point, you would think when you say cleared hot, They wouldn't run. They wouldn't keep running around like Rambo. It's just it's such a bad tactical experience when you see that shit. It was bad in Wildlands, and it's even worse now. And it just doesn't sit right with me for a game that should be pushing this. If they want this type of stealth solo shit, they need to reimagine what Splinter Cell should be. Because the same way they reimagined Watch Dogs with this awesome recruiting people, and like that shit looks kind of dope. Ghost Recon needs to have the squad-based tactical shooter feel, okay? And you really the team at this point needs to understand. And guys, if you're watching this video, however many of you are, you need to get to the forums. You need to make your voice heard. Forget this game. This game is foobar at this point. You need to make your voice heard. So for what they're developing for the next game, they get it right. Because we deserve it at this point. Those of us going through this, through the thick and thin, who purchased this game, who are trying to make it better, who are out here on the forums, making videos, you know, it's like, yo, we care about this franchise. We want this game to be awesome because we know the potential it has. But if there are managers and upper management ruining the decision making, we need to let our voices be heard. So the programmers, the designers, the art team, everybody can come together and say, look, this is what the fans want. This is what the industry wants. We need to not let them turn these games into every other game that's out there. And that's my 2 cents, which now is like $1 million because I've been talking so long. So let me end the video here. Let me know what you all think, all right? And that's it. I'm signing off. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you're having fun with the live event with the Resistance. There's some cool stuff going on there. I got some video of gameplay up if you want to watch it. Comment down below. Let's bullshit. Let's talk. And that is all. Signing off, everybody. I love each and every one of you. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'm out of here. Peace.